Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Omniverse of Nick and Part 5 to the Super Saiyan Vegeta story. I'm your host, Nick, and like always, before we get into today's episode, be sure to smash the like button, subscribe to the Omniverse of Nick channel, and comment your favorite part or parts of ongoing or past stories, as well as future recommendations for what-ifs and general discussion, which you can also look at for the future in my Google Doc, which is in the description of every single video and post, so that you can see every single project in the works for the future, including a lot of your guys. So let's get into the first half of the Buu arc today, judging who will be in the tournament and their power-ups. First, obviously, Vegeta, who has already mastered Super Saiyan 2 before the 7-year time skip, and then proceeds to train in it with his son Trunks, who would become a Super Saiyan behind his back like before. But this training would have major ramifications. Starting with the obvious thing, Kid Trunks would be a good deal stronger and would get Super Saiyan 2. And all this training would rub off on Vegeta, giving him Super Saiyan 3. Now, in canon, possibly, and just in general, Vegeta would avoid this form because of the drawbacks, because of how Goku had it first and what happened with him using it. But considering that he beat Cell and kind of got back his medal as strongest, and the fact that everything's gone so differently in the story, Vegeta would be able to master it and obtain it and keep it. So, yeah. Goku? He wouldn't be left too much in the dust, mastering Super Saiyan 2 over this time and getting a really good deal on it. Which, all of this would rub off on Gohan and Goten, who would obviously still be born. Because, while yes, it's true, Goku being around would hinder Gohan, in some cases, more than others, depending on how Goku would operate in the quote-unquote what-if story or canon story, Gohan would train more regardless. So his Super Saiyan and Super Saiyan 2 eventual forms would be around the same as the Cell games. So, pretty much around that point. Not really too much different than that, besides maybe a little bit stronger. And Goten would be up to grade 3, almost mastered Super Saiyan. Gohan would still, of course, meet Videl, go to school, and kind of all that stuff. It would just be more spanned out with Goku being around and wanting to train with him more, especially with Vegeta being the head honcho. And Videl would see good gains from all this. The androids being around, which, if I didn't mention that already, they were wished back. And even though 16 died beforehand, he was never brought back before, and 17 and 18 were kind of not really good guys, I feel just for the sake of it, they would be brought back for all intents and purposes. Just to close that with you guys. The Earthlings would be part of the tournament too, with Roshi being involved and Yamcha and all of them training good and getting good gains too. When we get to the tournament itself, Kid Trunks beats Goten. I mean, come on. He has a higher form than Goten, and he would just get much more gains. Then he then beats Hercule, and Yamcha would take Pintar's spot in fighting Krillin in the first match. And like some of my other stories where this has happened, Krillin would beat Yamcha. There's just really no avoiding that unless you make Yamcha stronger from the get-go. Piccolo would then forfeit against the likes of Shin per the original, and Videl, like some of my other stories, and just in general, if she had trained better with a better Gohan, she'd beat Spopovich here rather handily, which is a far cry from her original outing for all Dragon Ball fans who unfortunately remember that. Gohan would then power up against Kibito and get his energy stolen, with a bit extra in this story, and they would then go to Babidi's ship, find out about the Supreme Kai, Kibito, go to Babidi's ship, go out in hiding, and meet Babidi, Deborah, Pui Pui, and, learn about Spopovich and Yamu. They get killed, Deborah is left outside, kills Kibito, and this is where it would change in this segment. 16 and Yamcha are the only two to go along with everyone else canonically, while the other people stay behind to finish the tournament. Yamcha gets spat on by Deborah as the first victim. Piccolo, the next. Pretty much like his canon self, even though he's different here. Deborah would then go for the spaceship, and the rest would go kind of the same. Vegeta would beat Pui Pui, although probably much easier in this story. Goku would fight against Yakon. A bit different here because he'd be weaker, you know? Then Gohan would proclaim that he wants to fight against Deborah, but Goku then says that he wants to fight. Not only just because he wants to prove something, but because he has something in mind that he wants to try and experiment with. Not just with Deborah, but just in general. And Gohan and everybody else wanting to see what Goku means, just let him fight. And Deborah's intrigued too, so they get to fighting, and Goku beats Deborah with almost no contest in his single Super Saiyan form. And to everyone's shock, he kind of does it a bit ruthlessly. Goku then turns after beating Deborah almost very ruthlessly, still in Super Saiyan form and glaring at Vegeta. He tells Vegeta he knows the truth. He got another form behind their backs. He just can't let it go. That just because he got a form first doesn't mean that he gets to hide everything and be the egotistical man he continues to be after he's been proven to lose after Frieza, even if it's not to them. And Goku's proving here that Vegeta is not the strongest, and this proves it. Vegeta, it doesn't prove it to him, and he's laughing at Goku just getting all angry and everything like that. But all this anger, jealousy, and being left out of a form, all of this sparking into this particular scenario gives Babidi the perfect opening to turn Goku into a Majin. Very complex, I know, because it would be almost impossible, but think about the context. And Vegeta is very surprised, because he would have never expected someone like Goku to be able to be controlled by an evil wizard. But this ain't Goku no more. Goku in those first very short moments exhibited sides of Kakarot, his alternate persona, if you will. And he smirks at Vegeta, saying that if he wants him to act like a true Saiyan, he'll tear Vegeta apart in front of everybody, showing that he is the strongest. But this isn't all Goku talking, obviously. But Vegeta says that Kakarot wants him, and he powers into Super Saiyan 2. He says that he can have him. But he alone is the one who got this form first, and he alone deserves the title of the strongest ever. And he's going to prove that to Goku, no matter if it's not him or not. They then get whisked to the tournament arena, where Vegeta knows what's going to happen. And with Bulma and Trunks there, he powers into Super Saiyan 2, because despite being an egotistical, ruthless-minded person, even more so than in canon, he still cares about his family, even though he almost killed Bulma in canon. And he powers into Super Saiyan 2 automatically and yells at Babidi to transport them away before he fights against Kakarot. Babidi then does so, because why not? Especially considering the whole dilemma here. And then Vegeta and Majin Goku proceed to battle, which would be an even more brutal fight than Majin Vegeta and Goku. Vegeta then shows off his hidden power, Super Saiyan 3. And Kakarot, he should have known. He should have known Vegeta truly was hiding something. He had sensed it. He had tried to know about it. But this was what it was, and then he devilishly smirks and turns Super Saiyan 3 and laughs at Vegeta, saying that now with Master Babidi's power, as well as a very small inch of him learning about this form, not getting it at all, but trying to get on to some kind of spark to it, he now has it, and he'll show Vegeta he is the one who truly earned this form. and a very, very brutal and amazing battle ensues. But because of two Super Saiyan 3s and Goku Imagine and all that, Boo's egg hatches literally within the first few minutes of the battle. Yes, they had a brutal struggle in Super Saiyan 2s, but the battle would barely be as long as the original canon battle, but it would be more brutal. And Goku loses due to being weaker than Vegeta in this story and having less experience with Super Saiyan 3. But the Majin Boos did give him a very good edge. And with the boar being dealt with quite a good bit ago, Piccolo and Yamcha have been freed from Stone, and Piccolo surprises Babidi and actually kills him rather from his canon counterpart. Vegeta then joins everybody, with Goku unconscious, to see Boo unleashed. Everyone then looks to Vegeta, asking him what happened to Goku and did he kill him, and kind of getting defensive. But Vegeta says he's here to help them, no matter if it's against his will or not, because he still wants to show to everybody he's superior, and he still has a family on this earth to protect, and he's allies with them regardless. And yeah, powers into Super Saiyan 2, says Kakarot's fine, tells him all to stay out of his way, says he'll take care of Boo, and then rushes forward to fight him. But after figuring out Super Saiyan 2 ain't enough to beat Boo, he then goes into Super Saiyan 3. But he is kind of injured and tired, even though he didn't exude all of his power. Although I feel he would just get a Senzu Bean and go back to full power anyway, so that really doesn't matter. But this Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta is actually starting to make Boo mad, because he's getting beaten. So mad, in fact, that Boo starts to not only exhaust all of his options and fail to actually mount an advantage, even with his regeneration, but he gets so mad that he roars up to the sky, unleashing Evil Boo. After that, Vegeta and Boo's battle stops, and the two Boos stare each other down, and begin a fight between each other. And Vegeta, he powers down, not really liking the fact that, number one, there's another Majin Buu, and that seems to be an evil Buu, and now he's not the center of attention, and he's getting ignored. So he turns back into Super Saiyan 3, gets in the battle struggle between the two Boos, breaks them up with both of his hands, spreading big bang attacks to both of them, knocking Fat Buu away and Evil Buu up into the air. Vegeta rushes Evil Buu, but he honestly should have rushed the fat one, because Evil Boo took this to a very good advantage for himself, and he blows in the direction of Vegeta, because this was Evil Boo's variation of the chocolate beam. Because you can pretty much infer he can do it that way. Even if it was just a blowback towards reflecting Fat Boo's technique, I can put in creative liberties. He then eats the chocolate Vegeta and begins to transform. Goku then wakes up, gets a Senzu Bean, gathers with everybody else, which more of the Z Fighters have gathered because of all these powers, because who wouldn't at this point? Plus the tournament would be over by this point. And before he can apologize, state his case, or do anything, talk to Vegeta, anything at all, Evil Boo, Vegeta absorbed, makes himself known. Technically Super Boo Vegeta absorbed, but Fat Boo isn't absorbed, so it's still Evil Boo. How will they deal with this threat, with the strongest among them absorbed into Boo? Will this be the end for our team, or can they pull through? What do you guys think will happen next? How did you like this episode, and what is your favorite part so far? With all that out of the way, be sure, as always, to smash the like button, subscribe to the Omniverse of Nick channel, and comment your favorite part or parts of ongoing or past stories, as well as future recommendations for what ifs and general discussion, which you can check out in the Google Doc of this video and all future videos and posts to see all projects in store for the future, including a lot of your guys's. With all that out of the way, I'll see you guys next time for the last half of the Boo arc.